Section C.15 Tallying the votes. 15.1. The ballot box shall be escorted to a secure location kept by the Anishinabek police or other security personnel. 15.2. On the day following the election at 9 a.m., and after the close of voting, the Chief Electoral Officer shall, in the presence of security personnel, and not more than one scrutineer per candidate, open the ballot box and A. Examine all the ballots including the mail-in ballots, rejecting those which are 1. Not initialed by the Chief Electoral Officer, or the Deputy Electoral Officer, or 2. Marked with more than one vote per contested position, or 3. Marked in any manner which may serve to identify the elector. B. Subject to review on recount, or on an election appeal, make a note of any objection raised on behalf of any candidate to any ballot. C. Allow or disallow any such ballots, marking the word allowed or disallowed, as the case may be, on the back of the ballot with his or her initials. D. Count the number of votes received by each candidate from the allowed ballot. E. Provide each candidate with a written and signed statement of 1. The number of ballots prepared for the election. 2. The number of mail-in ballots distributed. 3. The total number of mail-in ballots received. 4. The number of unmarked ballots. 5. Total number of ballots rejected before being placed in the ballot box. 6. The number of ballots cast in the election. 7. The number of spoiled or rejected ballots, and 8. The number of ballots cast for each candidate. 15.3. Where it appears that two or more candidates have an equal number of votes for a single position, the Chief Electoral Officer shall conduct a recount immediately, following which he shall either A. Declares the winning candidate, or B. If the recount fails to determine a successful candidate, the Chief Electoral Officer shall cast ballots in order to break the tie. The Chief Electoral Officer shall place the names of the candidates having the same number of votes on a paper and place each in a receptacle. Without looking, he shall draw as many papers as there are positions available. The candidate or candidates whose name or names appear on the pieces of paper that the Chief Electoral Officer has drawn from the receptacle shall constitute the candidates or candidates for whom the Chief Electoral Officer shall cast a vote. 15.4. Immediately after the completion of the tallying of the votes, the Electoral Officer shall A. Declare the candidate or candidates receiving the greatest number of votes to be elected to their respective positions. B. Sign a statement indicating the number of votes cast for each candidate and post it in BFN public-owned places, official BFN website, or any other future-owned Beausoleil First Nation businesses or organizations that are accessible to the public. 15.5. After an election, the Electoral Officer shall place all ballots prepared for the election in a sealed envelope, and preserve ballots and other election material in their possession for a period of 30 days, or until such time as he or she has been served with a notice of appeal.